Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I've got my little coffee cup because I'm here and I'm bringing you a video that has completely come off of the cuff, but it is 5 mental health tips for handmade entrepreneurs, because as you guys know, when you start your own business, it's not just a financial journey, it is also a journey of self-discovery. Because guess what? When we are on that life path, we're chugging away, we're in the daily routine, we're doing the job, we're doing all that kind of thing, sometimes we really lose ourselves and what we like and who we are. And this was especially true for me. So today I really wanted to come at you with some mental health tips for when you're running your business, you're starting your business, or you're just growing your business and trying to scale it. So the very first tip is rest is not a nice to have, it's a must have. And I know that this sounds fluffy, and I know that a lot of you guys are going to be like, yeah, all right, Steph, I'll rest when I can afford to, or I'll rest when I don't have things piling up on my to-do list. But here's the thing, is that if you are feeling, or you have felt burnt out, or you've been feeling like you can't keep up, you're spinning your wheels, you feel like you want to give up on your business because you just don't have the time to grow it, it's not going to get any better unless you make time for rest. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, and if you don't like this, I'm really sorry, but it is just the truth, is that you need to make time for rest and recuperation. Ask me how I know, because seriously guys, I always used to think that I used to have to push and push and push and push and push, but the bottom line is that the more you push, it's just not going to work. It's really not. So rest is a must have. It isn't a nice to have, unless of course you want to severely burn out, end up in the hospital, your business is going to go down the tubes, you know, it's going to be like a whole vibe. Again, ask me how I know, because I've done all of these things. So seriously guys, if you are planning out your week, if you are writing a to-do list, please make sure to schedule in rest, because honestly, some of the best businesses that I have seen have ceased trading because the business owner has not scheduled in rest, and it was as simple as that. Number 2 is identify when you do your best work. Now, when I say when, it really is a case of this could be a daily thing, it could be a weekly thing, or it could be a monthly thing. I recently read a book called In the Flow by Elisa Vitti. I'll pop the cover on screen for you here. And it talks a lot about if you have a menstrual cycle, how some weeks you can be more apt towards certain tasks in your business, and other weeks you're more suited to others. And I really started to implement this in my business, and let me tell you, it has been life-changing. Honestly, I used to wonder, like, why is it that some weeks I'm fine doing front-facing things, and other weeks I'm more like rested and behind the scenes? And as it turns out, your cycle plays a big part in that. But what I also mean by this, if you are someone who does not get a cycle yourself, it can be like a daily thing. This can mean different things to different people. For example, I'm someone who I get up at 5:30 a.m. most days. Latest is like half past 6, and that is when I do my best work. My best work is done before everybody else in the world gets up and starts their working day. So if you ever get an email from me at like 5:30, don't be offended. It's just because I'm up and working and doing whatever. I do not do my best work after like 3 p.m, 4 p.m, even like 5. I'm burnt out by that point. I'm done. And that is why most work days I'm finished by like 1 p.m, 2 p.m, unless I've got a call or a live or something like that. So it's really a good idea to identify when your most creative times are. And also look at your week to week, day to day, your month to month, and look at what sort of times of the month or what times of the day you're more suited to different tasks. Because let me tell you that trying to push yourself into doing things that you're not mentally equipped in that moment to do is like literally a recipe for hating yourself. Again, like, trust me, I've done this. I've been like, why can I not do this paperwork? Why can I not do this live? I was trying to film a video and it's not working. Like, I'm just rubbish. But as it turns out, it's simply just not the time for you to do that task. So seriously, guys, for the next month, track when you're most good at doing certain tasks, whether it be paperwork, behind the scenes planning versus like front facing social media, videos, if you do it, blog posts, and just keep track of it because you will start to see a pattern. The third thing is create when you feel called to. Now, I know that there is this kind of stigma about hustle and hustle hard, but the problem is that normal business advice doesn't work for handmade entrepreneurs. So that's probably why, if you have taken advice from someone who's just like talking about general business, it probably hasn't worked for you, because handmade entrepreneurs are so much different. Our net worth is basically based on how much we can create and what our creative energy looks like. And our businesses can ebb and flow and change and flourish. And sometimes we might have that moment where we're stalling and we're flat because we're just not in our best creative space. So what I'm going to say here is create when you feel called to. Don't force it, because again, if you're trying to force something, it is not going to work.
Bosses, we've been having some really great conversations in today's video. However, I'm here to tell you about this. This is called your conversion rate, and I've actually made for you in the description box below a free 90-minute conversion rate masterclass. So I'm just going to quickly explain to you in 1 minute why this is important. Okay. So this is your Etsy shop and these are your customers. So let's say that you get 100 customers into your store and you have a 1% conversion rate. That means you get one sale, and roughly that's going to be about $30 to £30. But what happens when we increase that conversion rate to 2%, 3% and above? This suddenly doubles, triples, quadruples without you having to change anything. Now, getting customers into your store costs time, effort, and money. But what if you didn't have to change this, you didn't have to change your shop, all you had to change was this conversion rate? That is what I'm going to be teaching you in today's masterclass. So whether you're a newbie or a seasoned Etsy shop owner, get yourself down below and register for that masterclass so you can increase this number. Back to the video.
The fourth thing, and this is a big one, is that unlink your self-worth from your net worth, okay? And what I mean by this is that so many times people will feel good in their business when they're making money and the sales are coming in and the cha-chings and the orders and like money is good and everything's going well. You'll feel good, you'll feel successful, you'll feel like you can do anything. And then something will happen, like the summer will come and sales will start to slow down because of various different reasons. I've got a video for that on my channel. But things will start to slow down, and all of a sudden you internalize that and you make that mean something about yourself. You make it mean that you're no longer any good at what you do. You'll make it mean that no one wants to pay what you've been charging before. You'll make that mean that your most recent designs were not all that great. You'll make it mean something about yourself, whereas in reality, the literal fact of it is that sales will naturally ebb and flow. It has nothing to do with you on a personal, humanized level. It has nothing to do with you. I got so passionate, I flicked my hair in my face. But do you see what I mean? Is that you really just don't want to go down that road of only being happy when you're making money in your business, because again, trust me, I've made that mistake before, where your whole mood for the day pivots on getting a certain amount of sales. And really, honestly, even if you are doing it on a subconscious level, look at how you feel, look at your mood, and really honestly ask yourself, is it because of not making any money or making a lot of money that day? Like, what is it as a result of a reflection of. And I know you guys might be saying, oh, Steph, like it's hard not to feel disheartened when sales are slow, but instead look at the facts, look at the reasons why, look at the stats. If you are like going into your Etsy stats and you look at last year and you see that okay, actually I had a blip or a dip this time last year as well, then you know it has nothing to do with you and everything about the buying patterns of the people that you serve. And the fifth thing is, again, I'm gonna say it, but stop pushing. I want you guys to think of you and your business as a rose. You can't force a rose to bloom. If you're getting in there and there's like a nice little rosebud and you're getting in there and you're pulling apart the petals because you're impatient, you're like, come on, I want you to bloom. I want to smell you. I want to do all the things. I want to take an Instagram picture of you. You're going to kill it. Literally the rosebud will go and just fall off and die the very next day because you forced it. That is you in your business when you're like, why have I not got a 6-figure business yet? It is literally you. The bottom line is that something that I have observed and experienced myself, not only as a business coach, but also as a multiple business owner myself, is that you will attract what you can handle at that very moment. Honestly, guys, if you have read horror stories of businesses growing too fast, what tends to happen is that they tend to go out of business so super soon because they've grown too fast. Literally, it is not something that you guys want. You do not want to be an overnight success, because if I was to say to you, right, if I quadrupled your orders, would you be able to send them out like tomorrow or the very next day? The answer will probably be no. So really, guys, the biggest piece of advice that I could give you is stop pushing and make plans, make goals, set intentions for your business. Make a rough plan, but also pop in there room for expansion. Hold yourself some space where you're able to change and pivot and do all these natural, wonderful things that, you know, businesses do, which is just they pivot and they change and their path might alter. And no, you might not be growing as fast as you hoped or as fast as you wanted to, but the bottom line is that it could be simply as a result that is all you have the space to hold right now. And it could be that rather than looking at your numbers and saying, oh, why aren't I growing? What can I do to push this growth? What can I do to market more? What can I do to do all this kind of thing? It might just be really, really fun, and just try it. Just to instead ask yourself the question, what would myself as a insert goal here, 6-figure business, right? What would me as a 6-figure business owner do? What would 6-figure Steph do? Just as an example, yeah? So what would that person do? And ask yourself that question instead of being like pushing in the here and now. Push your scope out a little bit further and be like, what would 6-figure Steph do? Would she be worrying about how many people are coming from Facebook? Would she be worried about how my last Instagram story didn't get as many views or clicks? The answer's probably no. And instead, you're looking at the long-term business vision. And honestly, guys, in a funny, weird way, that is actually how my business has grown more, is by me keeping the focus in the distance. A bit like when you're on a really rocky ship, and to make yourself feel a little bit less sick, you're looking in the horizon rather than like where your feet are right now on the boat that's doing this. I get really seasick. This is not a great example for me, but you get my point. And that is the same for business. If you are getting frustrated and you're finding yourself putting pressure on yourself and making yourself a little bit mentally unwell, then look into the distance a little bit more and instead look at the long game rather than the short game. And again, I'm going to put a preface on all of this and say that I'm not a mental health professional. And if you really feel like you need help, then please do go and seek professional advice. But these are just 5 things that I have done in my own business that I hope you might find useful. So guys, I really, really hope that you did enjoy that video. Please let me know in the comments, what bit of advice did you take on board? What was the biggest aha for you? But for now, guys, give this video a big, big thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to get videos in your inbox every single week. And for now, I will catch you in the next one. Bye, everyone.